Bulavanaka, everyone. Arts education to the rescue. Now, you might think that that is a bold or irrational statement to make. But when Sharon asked me to come and speak today, and I thought, well, why is she asking me to come and speak to you about life? But I quickly sort of realized it's because I'm probably a representative of the arts community. So then I thought to myself, okay, what is something that I believe about the arts industry or arts in general that I'm very deeply passionate about and that I want to tell other people in our community as well? And I came to this conclusion, that arts education, especially at primary school age, but all throughout life, is absolutely necessary to developing some lifetime skills. And in a world where we are cost-cutting in education systems and sort of the first to go are the sports and the arts fields, I think that this is a big mistake. Arts, when you hear today with other people's stories, like Monica's stories, you feel empathy, you know? You feel, when you create something with other people, a piece of music, you have to problem solve. You have to negotiate other people's personalities, using social skills, using communication, using lateral thought. All of these different skills come out when children engage in different forms of creativity in art, music, dance, theatre, in writing. So then I asked myself, what do we want society to be? What is a model of a good society? What do we value in society? Is it equality? Is it good standard of living? Is it freedom? I argue that arts education is a mechanism that can teach these values in an indirect way. And it's not the product of the art, it's not the performance, it's not the painting that teaches these skills, it's the process. It's the journey to the full stop, it's the sentence along the way in which we gain these different insights into how other people think and how we think. So let me give you an example. Creating a piece of art, what is a creative process? One could argue, which is my philosophy, that it's a series of questions and then decisions. And the quality of the artwork could be said to be the quality of the questions and then the decisions made. So we have our Class 3 art room. Can someone give me a name of a Class 3 student? Chimesa. So the teacher said, Chimesa Bagwan, you are going to do a painting today. You're going to sit down, here's your piece of paper, and you're going to draw me a picture. So Chimesa sits down at the table and he's like, okay, I've got crayons, I've got paints, I've got pencils, which one am I going to use? Okay, maybe I'll try paints today. Okay, what am I going to draw? Am I going to draw a boat or a house or a tree or a bird? Where am I going to put it on the page? How am I going to compose this? You know, it's a subconscious stream of thought that he is questioning within himself. And he's answering these questions as his painting reveals itself. I've just drawn a bird. Is it going to be blue? Is it going to be red? Why? What does this symbolize in Jamesa's brain, you know? And I have to say that this internal questioning, it only happens in creative subjects. You can't go to your maths class and say 2 + 2 = 6, because it doesn't, it equals 4. But you can draw a tree and paint it blue instead of green to symbolize sadness because his friend tree just got cut down, and it won't be wrong. So, another example. Any other names you have? Mary. Okay, so in St. Joseph's, Mary's teachers told her to prepare for the end of school concert. So she has to make a choreography. So she's thinking, oh, okay, how many dancers am I going to pick? Where are they going to stand? Are they going to do the same thing at the same time? Are they going to do different things at the same time? Are we going to do the whole thing facing the back just to mess with the audience's expectations of what a dance should look like? and so on and so forth. What piece of music is she going to choose? What does that mean? Is it going to impact her choreography, or is she going to choreograph in contrast to the music? This is what Mary has to think about, all in this lead up to this end of school concert. And then what is life? Life is a series of questions and decisions, right? When we at Form 7 have flung Jamesa and Mary out into the world, they have to think, okay, what do I want to do now? Where do I want to go? What do I want to learn? What is important to me? Is it money? Is it service? Do I want to work for a company? Do I want to give my life in service to other people? Do I want to start my own business? How am I going to start my own business? What is my logo going to look like? How am I going to write a business plan? But they are conscious of these questions. And if we can impart one skill to our children, I feel that the ability to ask a question is a really good start. Because questions beget more questions, and questions beget a quality of curiosity. And if we can create curious people, they'll be lifelong learners. And as a common thread has come through today's amazing and motivating speakers, there are some parents that will make these decisions for their children and be like, no, you have got these grades, and that means that you will be a doctor and you will be a lawyer because this is what society has told us success looks like, and that is what you're going to do. Sometimes this works, and sometimes they're amazing doctors and lawyers, but sometimes, or most of the time, everyone ends up being miserable. So arts education to the rescue. I was reading this fascinating article the other day. Every year they do surveys of all of the world's education systems, their primary, secondary school curriculum, according to different levels of literacy, numeracy, and the graduate results of what they're doing after school. And every year, year after year after year, Finland is like always number one. Number one, Finland, year after year after year. It's one of those Scandinavian countries that are just like amazing at everything. So and so I was reading that they have these very with the times sort of educational people that are constantly evolving their curriculums all the time. You know, like adapting to this like information age that we're living in. And some of the things that they've been doing recently, they've been getting rid of subjects like history, traditional subjects, like geography, like biology, scrapping them. Because they're saying that your 7-year-old can click, 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 and tell you the history of Somalia, can give you the topography of the Himalayas, can tell you how our coral atolls are formed, you know? So they're scrapping history, geography, biology, and you know what they're replacing this with? Craft. And wait for it, knitting. If you go to a school in Finland, they will teach you how to knit. Because with a click, 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 you can find the history of Somalia. But can that student concentrate? Can they sit down with complete focus on a task and complete it from start to finish? You know? In a world where like we are constantly bombarded like on YouTube, Facebook, our videos are getting shorter and shorter and shorter to the point where we're only going to watch a 7-second Vine, and if it's more than 5 minutes, I don't have time to watch that. Concentration is paramount, you know? Do we have time to concentrate on a task? Communication. If you tell the student, it's a skill you think of an idea in your head as one thing. Being able to take it out of your head by some mechanism of communication, give it to someone else to create the band song, to create the choreography, that is a different thing. That is like working with other people. And I guarantee you that the skills of concentration and being able to work with other humans will be more beneficial than all of the facts about mitochondria, cell division, and chlorophyll. So, arts education to the rescue. Arts education, it brings all facets of society together, from the older people to the younger people. All races and genders, they come together through music and dance and theatre and artwork and poetry and literature. It expresses our society, who we are. So this is something that I'm very passionate about. And I implore you, each and every one of you today, to go with your family to the museum next week. Drag them along to that poetry slam. Go and join the choir, sign up for that dance class, and don't forget that it's never, ever, ever too late to pick up the paintbrush, strum that guitar, or put on those dancing shoes. Naka.